Alrighty, everybody. You guys should be able to hear me now. Hello. Welcome to the stream. I can't read chat right now because I minimized it. There we go. So, hello, everybody. My name is Mitchell, and welcome to the stream. So I was looking back at the stream yesterday, and for whatever reason, it was not synced with the video. So, yes, I'm gonna leave this site. Okay. So I'm gonna have to figure that out real quick. I'm just gonna see if I need to put a delay on the video or not. So, I need to think. How would I do this? Give me 1 second, guys. That's the doorbell. Doorbell. Give me 1 second, guys. Right back. Alrighty, I am back because I don't leave you guys with the BRB screen. So, back to listening for delays. Concurrent viewers? Nobody. Makes sense to me. Okay, so it doesn't exist on the. It doesn't exist on this stream, I guess. So, well, that's weird. Okay. So, I'm playing in windowed mode for the sole reason of it not losing focus when I'm. And yeah, I know Watering Trader has been annoying the living fuck out of you guys. So, he's been annoying me too. He showed up last night. So, oh, what the hell? That was weird. Oh, that sucks too. I just spent all night getting XP, and I just lost it. Ah, dang it. I really need a better system for that. So I'll keep the water here. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to put... Do ladders hold water now? I mean, do they still hold water? Don't think I have an infinite water source around here anymore. I do, right here. I think the issue about ladders now is that I can still die on them, but it doesn't matter. Like if you won't die because of the water there, but see how I can get stuck on them? Since they added a hitbox, you don't just get your fall broken, get your knees broken too. So I have to get a sign. Tried to be smooth. It's not working. So we gotta get a sign real quick. And oh, we have one. Nice. That works for me. So yeah, that's the issue. If I break this, it probably won't do anything. Ow. Let's just see how much damage I take if I, cause now I don't have any XP. If I just like keep pushing forward. Well, the water caught myself, I guess. So that's one thing. I don't know. I'm gonna take this real quick. So yeah, it does hurt, but it doesn't hurt as much. Without boots, it gives you half a heart of damage, which is not even bad. When did this get removed? What? That was weird. Oh. Alright, so... Oh, and I might even take less damage now that I have a block there. So... Oh yeah, that's like no damage now. Oh, nice. Okay. So... That was without boots, so... That's good. I'm glad. So, that fixed a lot of our issues. People moving around in the tunnel and whatnot and dying. So, I want to... Well, first of all, let's fix this fucking farm, because the issue right now has been annoying me. I had my horse down here, and it... Or, yeah. It was like a horse, some zombie pigmen came down, you know. Pretty much they come down, and they find the crop, and then they don't know how to handle it, so they start jumping. So, it's always kind of annoying just having that happen. So, I'll fix that up right now, but we're not going to have the niceness of keeping them out still, which is whatever. So I'm not putting up doors on these tunnels. I don't have a horse anymore, but guess it's whatever. Do that. Do that. Do that. And boop. Boop. So that's farms fixed. That's a good thing. So next thing on my list, of things in my mind that I want to do is I want to get the rest of the final 3 animals. But that's obviously not going to happen today alone because of the fact that the final 3 animals, one of them is a mushroom. So having a mushroom is not going to be having at least 2 mushrooms just for unlimited food is not going to happen right now. So the final 2 animals are pig. I know that's one of them. I have to look it up. Animal. I'm getting pinged on Discord again. Discord's not up my... You guys can't hear me, can you? Yeah, you can. What? Tell me where my Discord is. Oh, it's right there. Okay, so for the first time ever, I think my encoding overloaded, which is something, but whatever. So, oh yeah, we were looking up the animals. So, we'll just see how the stream starts looking, and we'll see what happens. Okay, so passive. So we have chicken, cow, mushroom, pig, sheep, and I think rabbits was the last one I wanted to get. Which rabbits are a whole nother ball field of trying to get because they don't just follow. They'll run away. So what do we do then? Okay, so we have let's go back to Minecraft real quick, and I'll take this book. I'm gonna put everything on its own page, just so it can be. Boom. So, we have that. Alrighty, thanks. Okay, so we need pigs, rabbits, and mushrooms. Question mark. So now we can do that and just leave it there. So now we can actually just... The cool thing about podiums is that it saves the book position, so you can just leave it and see that. So, so we need to... I think pigs are probably the easiest to get right now. So, let's sleep real quick. Let's go get some wheat real quick, actually, because we have to wait for that sunset. That'll work. I also need to do this. Do I have... Should have netherrack here somewhere. Yep. Netherrack's just the easiest to break after you're done with it. Sorry, you're going back into the pit of darkness. That just assures me they don't get out while I'm doing this. And that the pigs don't fall into the wrong pit by just walking around. I didn't tell you guys what happened here. The reason why I have to use nether brick staircases is because there's lava underneath some of these pits, and I came in one day. The fence posts were gone. Some sheep died. I was like, "What? How'd that happen?" And turns out they were catching fire, which was a whole nother thing. So we'll put water underneath that. And I need a boat. Boat. Okay. Okay, let's try and locate. Okay, let's try and locate some pigs. Okay. Here, pig, 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 pig. Here, swine, 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 swine. I need a swine flute. It'll work. Where you at, fool? Where you at? I'm chicken. There's a crafting bench over here. Zach, he's leaving his shit everywhere. I swear, that was not me. Because again, I didn't set up anything until I was right over here. Which you guys didn't get to see. It was an episode of Kuma Craft that never really came out. This was supposed to be a series, and I just kind of gave up on it. No, we just play. So, I got here and I immediately set up on the shoreline. I was gonna dig out a house, but then I was like, hey, I could put a house on top of the river, and technically it won't be destruction of anything. So yeah, that's what I did. Server set to, by the way, 10 render distance. So you'll notice that since I'm set at 12, you could see chunks loading in the distance. 10's just the default. I didn't want to increase it anymore because there's cows. Because I didn't want the server to lag unintentionally. I might change it to 16 just to fucking do it. Fucking hell. I put that there. Let's do it. And this way I could see if Minecraft is still running. It's not. That's why I had it windowed. Yay. There we go. I'm going to do that real quick. Log in, multicraft, servers, advanced. Nope, not that. Shit. Plugins, config files, server settings, and our view distance is set to 10. I'm going to send it to 16 and save. And now to restart the server. So, yeah. Also, sooner or later, hopefully, we'll have a public map. So, basically, what I'm doing currently is last night, at the end of the stream, you'll notice it went to just a watching out a window. I was actually rendering out. I was working on getting Overviewer working on this remote computer. So I was working on that. I didn't want to end the stream yet. Okay, I'm already seeing lag. I'm not sure if it's the server or not. So I was doing that, and what was it? Oh yeah, so we rendered out a Overviewer map. If you don't know what Overviewer is, I can actually show you guys this. It is. If I can load it up. Oh, I do not want to open it in fucking Edge. Okay. It is this. So this is our Minecraft Overview map. So you'll notice that you have this kind of area that's mainly fully explored, and then you got. There's someone. Oh wow, someone's making a base. That's kind of cool. I didn't even notice that before. So, and then you got this long thing here. So it pretty much renders all of the loaded chunks already. So you'll notice that you have the spawn. So spawn chunks are labeled around the diorite, obviously. So anything that you do in here is server based. So that's where our spawn point is. That's in the middle of it. And I love Minecraft Overviewer for the pure reason it just kind of shows you how big or how small really our building area has been made. Because if you look at it from walking distance, it's like an insane walking distance from like my house to spawn. But my house is here and spawn's here. You get my point? It's crazy. And then like it's 500 blocks. It's actually pretty small in relative plane now that I went 16,000 blocks away. So we have that to that. Zach's house is about the same distance away, pretty much. You can see his little pathway going around to his house. Then you can see that he went on another pathway out to his new house, which is out here. So that's Zach's new house. He has an acacia tree for some reason going off of it. And then I think Tyler's base is underground, but I think this is Nathan's base that he's building currently. I think that's going to turn out really cool looking, honestly. So we have that going on. And then, of course, you can always see underground. Sometimes you see diamond. So the only issue with Overviewer currently is it's not officially supported in 1.14 yet. Well, he said it's officially supported, but it's not. The bugs are worked out yet. So the main issues with bugs in 1.14 currently are lighting. So this is probably the least buggiest render I've done, especially in regards to everybody. In regards to everyone's base, because sometimes when the bugs are just like sitting somewhere where I don't really care about, like right here, I'm like, okay, whatever, it'd be really nice. So yeah, so the hopefulness of it is we'll take this Overviewer map and I'll throw it on a web server or something, and but right now I'm hearing things from people about putting it onto a Dropbox folder and then sharing the index file. So I'm currently working on doing that, and probably the funniest part is doing this, syncing all of these files. It was 14. Oh my god, it was 14 no, 47,000 files, and it's already halfway done, which I'm really happy about. So mainly it's all the Zoom levels and shit. So I'm gonna see how well the Dropbox folder works, and if not, I'm gonna pay for web hosting, which is a thing I really didn't expect I had to do. But yep. Let's just see what kind of web hosting exists. Bluehost. Okay, Bluehost I've seen before. They have an intro offer for $8 a month, and I don't want $8 a month though. That's the issue. But I probably the most I'd pay is $5 a month, because they're going to give me free WordPress to install, and I don't want that, because I don't want WordPress. You know, I just want to host it. I've seen some websites like, I think PebbleHost does it too. PebbleHost is our thing. Is our web host provider. So yeah, they do web hosting. So see, we just can't. We'd have to buy a 5 gig or 10 gig plan, and we'd be able to do it. So yep, that's my thing. And yep. And they also publicly make available their specs. So that's kind of nice. So yeah. That's what I'm currently working on. Oh yeah, it's also night now. Well shit. So let's just go try to find a pig really quickly before I die. Luckily we're not far away from our base. Hello pig. How are you? Come with me through a spire of flame. They only want carrots now, don't they? They're not a wheat fan anymore. I forgot about that. So we had to go back to our base anyway. You know what? Wait, I can do this still. Be slow, but it works. Next time I'm going to like take a bucket and I'm going to like you can see my oh yeah, I didn't show you guys that. My bamboo farm is is doing a thing over there. I think the best thing it just stands above everything else. Oh yeah, it's over here. Oh my god. How did you die? Here. Where? You're going up here? I don't have any carrots on me, so you're going down here without a fight. Like, what the hell was that? Oh my god. Stop it! Oh my god, where are you going? Yes, keep going that way. Keep going that. Oh my god. You're getting back in the boat. There we go. Yeet. One down. I'm going to actually sleep before I get caught. And I am halfway off my bed. I thought I had carrots. That may be the one thing I'm missing right now. Okay, no problem though. We'll just do the same thing pretty much. Wonder if their live dashboard yells at me for playing copyrighted music. So I really want to play like right now the fucking Smash Bros. Theme song is stuck in my head. I'm doing it anyway. We'll see what happens. Oh my god. Man, I messed up so bad on that one. This is fun. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god. What are you doing? I have no problem in doing that because my machine. Oh my. Fuck. Go. Come back here. Here we go. On the whales.
Did you know it's time to raise our sails? It's freedom like you never knew. 20 bags for a pass.
Get in there!
I'll be there in a flash. You
I'm going to.
say my hat is off to you. Oh, we can zoom all the way to the moon from this great wide wacky world. Jump with me, grab coins with me, oh yeah. It's time to jump up in the air. Jump
Not going anywhere.
Jump up and your cares will soar.
What are you doing?
And if the dark clouds start to swirl, don't feel enchanted, 'cause I'll be your one-up girl.
I'm done.
Let's all jump up super high, high up in the sky. It's no power up like dancing. You know that you're my superstar. No one else can take me this far. I'm flipping the switch. Get ready for this song. Let's do the Odyssey. Odyssey, yes, see.
What are you doing?
Odyssey, yes,
Ah!
Odyssey, yes, see. Odyssey, yes, see. Odyssey, yes, see. Odyssey,
Get the fuck back here. He's really one just to like literally walk away.
spin the wheel, take a chance. Every journey starts a new romance. A new world's calling out to you. Take a turn off the path. Find a new addition to the cast. You know that any captain needs a crew. Take it in stride as you move side to side. They're just different points of view. Jump with me, grab coins with me, oh yeah. Come on and jump up in the air. Jump without a care. Jump up 'cause you know that I'll be there. And if you find you're short on joy, don't fret, just don't forget that you're still a one-up boy. So go on, straighten up your cap. Let
What
your
the-
toes begin to
Back here.
tap. This rhythm is a power shoe. Don't forget you're the superstar. No one else could make it this far. Better go through that stash. Now you've got panache. Oh, let's do the Odyssey. It's time to jump up in the air. Jump.
Monday.com is a
Shut up, Monday. Why not? Shmo
I
Yoho.
have the high privilege and the distinct honor of presenting to you the President of the United
I'm okay with this.
States.
This final one, we're going to try to make it a little shorter. We've got the strongest job growth since 1999. We produce more oil here for the first time. For the first time. For the first time. Get it, like 1999. Get it, like 1999. It has been and still is a hard time. But tonight we get it like it's 1999. If a kid from Tatooine can save the galaxy, you can too. Your future will be.
Yeah, you're not going anywhere now.
There's no limit to what we can do. But here's the big but.
He's gonna walk right away again.
We're not there yet. We all know that. All the income gains flow to the top 1%. It's gonna bring jobs back. Get it, like 1999. Get it, like 1999. It has been and
It still is a hard time.
It's 1999. If folks wanna pop off, I wanna meet 'em. I'm not gonna be soft, I'm gonna beat 'em. If folks wanna pop off, I wanna meet 'em. I'm not gonna be soft, I'm gonna beat 'em. Our economy is growing like 1999. The crime rate came down for the first time. For the first time. For the first time. Get it, like 1999. Get it, like 1999. It has been and still is a hard time, but tonight we get it like it's 1999. Got the strongest job role since 1999. We produce more oil here for the first time. For the first time. For the first time. Get it, like 1999. Get it, like 1999. It has been and still is a hard time, but tonight we get it like it's 1999.
Well, yo ho, happy 2016. We love you more than you will ever know. You can see more videos here and here. And if you download the track, you get a free potato. Have a great day and a great life.
Oh God, no. Come on. I think it's this one that was struggling last time too. There we go. Done. I can breed 4 of you. 2 of you. Then I also have 14 eggs. There, we have another one. How's our cow and sheep population doing? Pretty good. Okay. So yeah, I also gotta finish. Is that on my to-do list? Storage room. Yep. So I want like enough chests for like everything I'll ever own. So I just want to create a mob farm. So yeah, we do still have a table of contents. My Dropbox is almost full already. How much is Dropbox? Like, how much is the space in Dropbox right now? It doesn't tell me. 2 gigs. Oh my god. Yeah, it's not going to work that way then. Whoops. How much is it for like 5 gigs? I don't want 2 terabytes. Oh my god. It's $10 a month for 2 terabytes. I'm not doing it. Web hosting. Oh, that was a waste of time. I didn't realize it was only 2 gigs allowed. Okay, I'm gonna be a little bit, guys, because I want to do this today. I want to get our overviewer working today. So, oh, we have another wandering trader. That's a new one. Let's go see what he has, just real quickly. New guy. I don't think this is the same guy. He spawns every 20 minutes typically, and it's been 50. Oh. Isn't Podzol like what? Podzol's like the mushroom block, right? It's not working. It's again, stuff I don't really need. But I'm gonna give you guys a nice view somewhere. I need to get like a glass window where I can just like sit, because I keep doing these like weird gone away time lapses things. Just letting you guys sit and watch. So I'll put back on lo-fi.
you.